All right, everybody, it's time to continue our new weekly segment called I Want to Know, where we bring on notable surprise guests and interesting people to answer burning questions and beyond. So far we've had guests like Ryan Serhant from $1 Million Listing, right? Carol Baskin from Tiger King. Last week, we had Tyler Henry, which was the Hollywood Medium.
I can't believe I missed it.
Today, we are answering one of Ben's questions, okay? So Ben had the question, which was, how do you handle not liking your spouse's siblings or friends?
Oh, wow.
We'll dive into why he asked that question once we reveal the guest.
Is this a therapist? Because we might need one.
This is all of our therapy sessions, by the way.
So to get ready to answer that question, here are some clues for you, okay? He was recently on The Masked Singer performing. These boots are made for walking. There's a clip from the show, okay?
That just gave it away.
He began his media career hosting the nationally syndicated radio talk show Loveline.
I love Dr. Drew!
Which aired for 32 years.
I love Dr.
And he's the host of over 10 reality shows, including Teen Mom and Celebrity. There he is, Dr. Drew Pinsky.
Wait, hold on. You can't forget Teen Mom. That's like my favorite show.
So many shows.
Teen Mom is my favorite show with my wife.
Thank you for opening with The Masked Singer. Fantastic.
Yeah, we had to, Dr. Drew. We had to. So, Dr. Drew, thank you for being here to answer this question of how do you handle not liking your spouse's siblings or friends. Before we get to your answer, we have to ask Ben why he even is asking this question in the first place.
Because I can't stand some of my wife's friends and family members.
I
mean, there's some that I
on
cringe.
live TV, too.
Let me tell you something. She has a relative that came over for a week, and I couldn't go. I couldn't go to the bathroom for a week. Like, I was just so backed up. I was so stressed out that I couldn't live a normal life. So
Dr. Drew, can you help him out?
Unfortunately, you guys want to get into this. I need specifics. So what was it about this person that kept you from evacuating?
She's one of those people where she's very intense. She hovers constantly. You can never be alone. She's constantly in your business. She answers questions. I would ask my wife a question. She would jump in and answer it for us. And I'm like, And she's also the kind of person that if you ask a question like, oh, I love tennis. She's like, you know, tennis started in 1875.
Oh, one of those.
Stop, just stop.
I know it all.
So,
Right. So what? Here's. I think I'm going to flip this around on you, because to me she sounds like a very terribly insecure person.
Yes.
And maybe the way to deal with that is to be a little empathic towards her and understand she's just trying to make it nice. She's trying to make it known that she has something to contribute, and maybe just tell her to relax a little bit and not have to try so hard, rather than avoiding her. Do you think that would work?
I have to communicate with her? That just opens the door.
Right,
See, that's what I'm so scared
of. And by the way, how are things with your wife?
Things are great. No, my wife is a very understanding, and she gets it. She understands. She agrees, but she's also a lot more tolerant.
But it doesn't. At a certain point, she's going to get resentful. So you have to be careful. I mean, these are important people in her life, and in a weird way, you're making comment about her, right? It's not like she's avoiding these people; she's bringing them in. Yeah. And then you're saying, "Oh, you're driving me crazy with these people."
But Dr. Drew, that brings me to the question, because you were married. You've been married, what, 29 years? You just celebrated your anniversary?
Yep.
Congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations.
Triplets, right? Dylan, Jordan, and what's your daughter's name? Pavlina?
Douglas and Paulina, yeah.
Paulina? I can't read my own
Paulina
handwriting
just
here.
wrote a book, in fact, what's coming out in the spring.
Nice. Well, I have to ask, because a lot of people say, oh gosh, my in-laws are coming over. So to Ben's point about the friends, what do you do if you just cannot stand your in-laws?
It's very common, right? And you have to keep your mouth shut. Don't bring around. Set boundaries where you can, but understand this is somebody you love's family, and you have to treat them like family. And really try to figure out, just like I was doing with Ben, try to flip it around a little bit and see if you can sort of see their point of view a little bit. Empathy goes a long way. And when they get really in your business, try to use a lot of I'm wondering. I've noticed you're kind of talking. I've noticed you're kind of up in my stuff. Is everything okay? But you can avoid. You can always avoid. And again, I can't say this strong enough. Don't drink around these people. That's what people do.
You're the worst.
Well, you got to something I was thinking about, because a lot of people do it. They're just like, I can't deal. I am going to avoid, which can make for kind of a silent holiday, right? And kind of feeling like you're walking on eggshells. So how do you balance that?
Yeah, well, again, don't drink around.
People would think that would help.
Make sure. This is an unpleasant thing, and there's no sort of easy platitude that gets you through this. The key thing is to make sure that you honor your spouse and that you don't get so upset by these people that somehow it gets between you and the spouse. You just like when you're fighting with your spouse, you got to remember when two people fight and there's a winner, the relationship loses. The same thing is here. If you really start to become obstreperous with the family of origin, it's not going to go well for your relationship. So just put your time in, try to find something worthwhile in those people, try to see their point of view, and then don't drink, and then get out where you can. Get out and sort of blow off some steam somewhere else, talk to somebody else. But if you, like you said, if it's so obvious you're walking on eggshells, sometimes there's no alternative though. Sometimes it's just you have some beef with somebody in the family, and it's just going to be quiet for that evening, and you got to serve your time.
That brings me to this week, which is election week, right? And it's like you never talk politics at the table, but you have those family members that are going to talk politics at the table. That's all they do. And there's alcohol involved.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've seen some brawls at my own family's table over this stuff, and I just look. That's something to avoid. People are so heated up these days that it's not going to go well if you begin discussing it again. If you're drinking, I can't emphasize that strongly enough. But I think one rule should be this Thanksgiving. How about we don't discuss politics? And look, talk about what we do like about one another, and let's make peace this Thanksgiving.
Marisol, OG?
Is Dr. Drew on the set of Matrix 4?
Where are you? He's coming in and out. Focus.
Where are you right now, Dr. Drew?
Oh, I'm just a floating head here. I noticed the lighting is not what I intended. Yeah. But I just left New York yesterday. I was there until yesterday, and now I'm back in Southern California. And I was appalled to see that New York was the second greatest city in the country.
I know. Unbelievable.
Number one.
Exactly.
I'm in love with the city.
Totally.
I'm in love with it.
Totally. Marisol?
Well, Dr. Drew, I was going to say, I'm in a new relationship, and he's going to get peppered with questions from my very neurotic Puerto Rican family. He is very direct, and he will say, and I witnessed it this weekend, he just said, I know more about my dog than you do.
Oh.
And it stopped the conversation right there. Then on the drive home, he was like, was I too rude? I didn't think he was rude. What are the repercussions of being direct when you simply don't want to engage with someone? And it's your new girlfriend's family.
Yeah, again, there's a skill to all of this, right? What's missing in most discourse today is empathy or compassion and boundaries, right? And so if you don't feel overtaken by people, you feel that your position and your point of view is honored by them, just offer it. But try as you're saying it, try to think about what they're perceiving, their point of view. It's easy to be glib and straightforward. I mean, anybody can do that. You're just speaking your mind, but try to understand how it's received.
Yeah.
As you said, if he's had a different life experience than your family of origin, it's important for him to understand what that is and be really tuned into it as he expresses himself. And look, part of showing caring for your significant other is paying homage to their origin and their loved ones.
Can we bring back Loveline? Oh, it's the best.
I do a show called After Dark with Tom Segura's wife, the podcast, and it's sort of a modern version of that.
By the way, your first TV appearance, Wheel of Fortune. Contestant on Wheel of Fortune. Fun fact.
Who are your producers? I want to talk to them.
Celebrity Rehab, Sex Rehab. But I got to ask you before we let you go, what was it like being on The Masked Singer?
It was so fun. I just saw them reveal Wendy Williams the other day, and she must have had such a great time. I can't wait to talk to her about it because it really is an extraordinary experience. There's nothing quite like it. You are consumed by the characters. You are in that costume. And I was going to sing a lot of very, very different stuff, but when I put that costume on, I was like, oh my God, it's a rock eagle. I don't know how to sing rock songs. It's going to be bizarre. But here we go, and it was just really a blast. It's the best produced show on television. There's a lot going on.
After this one,
After
this is the best produced show on television.
Right,
and then
you got the Wheel of Fortune bit. That was huge.
Your producers clearly know how to do their research.
Right.
Dr. Drew Pinsky, thank you for being a guest today.
Yes,
we really do appreciate it.
I don't know what that's all about.
That's okay.
By the way, best part about the person I don't like, she's on a submarine for the next 6 months. She's in the Navy, so I'm not going to see her for 6 months.
It's a win-win.
On a sub.
We got to get her on next because I want to hear what her version is of you.
Yeah.
Dr. Drew, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
All right, and if you, by the way, have a burning question, email us. I want to know at pix7.com. We want to know your thoughts. Do you have a question? OG sent one in today that is hilarious. I want to hear from you. We'll book a surprise guest. We'll surprise all these folks and answer your question at the same time. You can be part of the show. There's the email on your screen. Very nice.